So your Airbnb listing looks fine, and that is exactly the problem. The photos are decent, the price may even feel reasonable. Nothing looks obviously broken. And despite this, bookings still aren't coming in. And I reviewed more than 100 Airbnb listings this year, different markets, different hosts, but I kept finding the same 7 mistakes. Not the obvious mistakes. I mean, the dangerous kind, the ones that actually look smart at the time that you're making them. And I saw these across cheap listings, expensive listings, brand new listings, as well as listings that have been running for years. The same 7 mistakes again and again. Almost none of the hosts knew that they were making these mistakes. So whether your listing is already live or you may frankly be in the process of still trying to put it together, more than likely you're making one or more of these mistakes. So I'm going to walk you through all 7 of them, and particularly what each one of these looks like on a real listing. Most importantly, I'm going to show you how to fix them once and for all. But before I do, here's what these mistakes actually look like across the 100 listings that I conducted last year. So 72 of the 100 had no clear guess that they were targeting. 61 of the listings had weak value communication. 57 of the listing had defensive guest screening, and 48 of them had way too many amenities to be defensible for the size of their property. And y'all, I saw this at different price points, but the same short list of mistakes over and over again. And so by the end of this video, you'll be able to open your own listing and really see it the way that I've seen it after conducting over 100 audits. And so you'll know which of these mistakes that you're making and the one fix that changes the most. Because most hosts fix the wrong things first, but after watching this video, you won't. And here's one more thing I saw across all the audits. When bookings slowed down, almost every host I audited reached for the same move first. They dropped the price. And y'all, honestly, it makes sense. It may even feel right in the moment because it gives you the chance of feeling like you're doing something. So here's a question I want you to think through in your head as you're watching this video is, what if the thing that you keep blaming as the culprit in your business, more than likely the price, isn't the thing that is actually broken? And y'all, one of these 7 mistakes did more damage to your business than all other 6 combined. And I'll get to that in a minute. And here's one of the things I kept seeing. A pool table, well, it isn't actually just a pool table. It's cues, it's chalks, it's balls that walk off. It's actually a felt surface that needs maintaining really forever. And the most common instinct I saw, especially with new hosts, was to win by adding more stuff, more amenities, more features, just more stuff. And here's the thing that they miss. Every single thing that you put in your listing is a promise. And y'all, the day that a guest book your property because of it, it has to be there and it has to work. So let me show you what it looks like when it goes wrong. This is a real listing in Tempe, Arizona. It's a gorgeous home, pool, hot tub, a backyard with a putting green. This thing even had hammock chairs. On the surface, it looks like a guaranteed winner. And I'm curious, would y'all actually book this property just primarily based on the photos that I'm showing you on screen right now? And y'all, if we're being honest, most people would. But let's take a look at the reviews. And that very first review, and even though it was 5 stars, the guest still mentioned that it was not as pictured. The hammocks were missing. And the next guest said the photos weren't accurate. In fact, they said the place was much older than it looked, and they had to fill up the hot tub themselves once they arrived. And another guest said the air conditioners were out for the 3 weeks that they were there. Imagine no AC in the middle of Arizona heat. And the thing that you need to keep in mind is that none of these guests were being unreasonable. In fact, most of them were right. So they showed up expecting what the listing promised, and the listings did not deliver it. And that right there, y'all, that is the trap, because every amenity in your photo is a promise that you're making to the guests. And if it ends up being a promise that your listing can't deliver, this is almost a 1-star review that you're ordering up on your property. And the fix may be the opposite of your instincts. Y'all, we need to take some things away. It's time to subtract from some of these listings. So what I want you to consider here is to offer fewer things and really deliver it flawlessly each and every single time. That is because a short list that you can deliver predictably each and every time beats a much longer list of things that you will break. And I'd love to hear from you in the comment. What is the one amenity that you may have added to your Airbnb that has given you the most headaches? And y'all, I'm going to be reading these because I want to see if it's the same one that I keep seeing in my own listing and other listings that I've audited across the country. And mistake number two, well, it's one that almost nobody catches themselves doing. I missed it in our own listing for longer than I would even care to acknowledge in this video. And let's stay with that Tempe listing for another second because it had another problem that I kept seeing everywhere across my audits. Picture this, you've booked your Airbnb, you're excited, you've already paid for the trip, and before you even check in, you're asked to upload your photo ID and take a selfie, agreeing to a criminal background check. And even after you do this, you're told that your reservation is still conditional and may still be canceled by the host. And I'm curious, y'all, how does this land with you? And we get it. There are some guest screening that are smart or maybe even necessary. But think about who actually reads your rules. The worst guests we've had aren't reading, and frankly, they don't care about rules. But your best guests, the ones that are respectful and quiet, the ones that you actually want at your property, they're the ones that are going to read those rules. And the way that this host is moving in this scenario, they're the ones that this host is making feel like a suspect at their property. And y'all, I get it as hosts. There are times things happen at our property and we got to update the rules. In most cases, we're adding new rules. But what I want you to realize is that the walls that we're building to keep out the bad guests, what they're actually doing is they may be quietly repelling the guests that we want. And the fix here is write and structure your listing for the guests that you want, not actually the guests that you are afraid of. And I get it, as hosts, we need to set boundaries, but set them like you're a host, not a bouncer at the club. And real quick, if this content is helping you, subscribing and liking this video is the fastest and easiest way to tell me make more videos like this. And I'm building out this channel and building out this community, and I want you to be a part of it. Go and hit like and subscribe. And y'all, mistake number three, it is one of the most common of all of the ones that I saw across the listings that I audited. It is also one of the quietest mistakes because it doesn't actually look like a mistake. It looks like you're being a good host, welcoming a guest to your property. And in this instance, you have one listing, the same listing, describing their place as both perfect for a romantic weekend, a big family reunion, and a business trip. Y'all, the same property. And when guests see a listing like this, well, they're not buying it. And what they know is a place that is built for everyone is obviously built for no one in particular. And so they land on your page, and in under 3 seconds, they're asking the one question: is this property for someone like me? And when you're trying to be everything for everyone, the honest answer is no. So I want you to answer this honestly in one sentence in the chat. Who is your listing actually for? And if you can't do it in one sentence, well, that is probably the problem. And we should probably talk about it down below. For mistake number 4, here is a quick test. We have 2 similar homes, one priced like a bargain and one priced like it's premium. And one of them is about to get the kind of guest that frankly makes your life a living hell. And I'm curious, which one of these properties do you think this is going to happen to? And almost everyone guesses the expensive property, but in fact, it's really the cheap one. And this is one of the key insights I kept seeing in my property. And frankly, it is one of the things that a lot of our hosts gets backwards. A low price doesn't attract easygoing, grateful guests. A value price attracts premium expectations at a discount. And some of the most demanding guests I saw in these audits were really booking the cheapest listing, expecting 5-star service at a budget price. And the chain on this is actually pretty brutal. The wrong guest shows up, you get a bad review, which leads to fewer bookings and lower income. And y'all, don't count on Airbnb to actually help you in this situation because Airbnb is going to protect, guess who? Airbnb. And when there's damage, these claims get denied more often than hosts expect. And it's going to be you as the host left holding the space and really holding the bill. And y'all, we're 4 mistakes in, and so far we've talked about overpromised amenities, a listing that screens like a bouncer, no clear guests, attracting, frankly, the wrong type of guests. And not one of them has been about the price. And y'all, that is the thing that the audits kept surfacing. Hosts are often convinced that the problem that they're facing is their price, a little bit too high or a little bit too low, but it almost never is. And sit with that for a second because the final one, the one I promised you, is the most expensive of them all. And let's keep going now to mistake number 5. And this is another real one now, y'all. And I want you to diagnose it before I do. Now, take a look at the price and look at the listing. Now, I want you to tell yourself right now, why does this one cost as much as it does? And if you couldn't justify the price by simply looking at the listing, well, the guest is not going to be able to do it either. And this is actually one of the more expensive listings in this market. And nothing on the page told you why. But I'm sure if you asked the guest, they'd be able to rattle off every special thing about this property. But if none of it made it on the page in a way that guests can feel, a guest with, frankly, 10 tabs open will not be able to do that work for you. And y'all, if two places look the same and yours costs more, well, in this situation, you're going to lose because you're overpriced and you've never made the case for it. And y'all, the fix isn't actually dropping the price. It's connecting what you have to what guests will get once they book this property. And we're not talking about things like blackout curtain or telling people that they're going to be able to sleep in. That's because features really say what is there, but the outcomes say why those things matter. And mistake number 6, well, this is one that I'm also guilty of, because here's what happens as hosts. We launch our listing, it is working, and so sometimes we just don't look at it often enough. And in this instance, you're not looking at your reviews often enough. You're not going back to them and try to identify if there are patterns in those reviews. And after a while, those decisions that you made in your property on day one, well, eventually those decisions are going to start to feel a little bit stale. And the part about this that is surprising, the most experienced hosts, they were the ones that were most likely to make this mistake because they learned Airbnb one way and they never come back and relearn it as things change on the platform. And so the fix for this one is actually quite simple. Read your reviews like data, not like feedback that you're going to flinch at. And y'all, to fix this one, you also want to build backup in your business. Build some redundancy before you actually need it. And so, for example, with all of our properties, we trained several cleaners instead of leaning just on one. Because when you end up with a cancellation on like a weekend, something like that can sink your business. And y'all, mistake number 7, well, that is the one that I promise could potentially do the most damage to your business. And try to remember the question that I left you with at the start of this video. This is the answer. The single most expensive instinct in all of hosting an Airbnb. Positioning is invisible. You can't see it on your dashboard, but you know what you can see on that dashboard is the price. So when a listing struggles, that is the lever that every host will grab first because it's the only one sitting right in front of them at the time that they're trying to figure out and correct for something going wrong in their business. And y'all, here's the trap. Remember the chain. Wrong guess, bad review, lost income. Now watch what happens when you drop the price to try to fix it. You attract a worse guest who leaves a worse review, which then buries you further. And so you drop the price again, but you didn't actually break the chain. Instead, you turned it into a spiral because the price was never the problem. But it's the one thing that you keep changing. And here, you don't fix the listing, you simply compound the problem. And I've watched hosts price their way straight into a hole this way. And for a lot of them, this is the difference between a business that works and one that quietly dies. And so this order matters more than anything else that I've talked about in this video. Positioning first, value second, and then price last. Price is the lever that you pull after you fix what is actually broken, never before. So I want y'all to be honest with me now down in the comments. When your bookings drop, is the price the first thing that you touch? No judgment. I'm going to be reading and responding to the comments down below. And so y'all, those are the 7 mistakes. And here are the part that I actually want you to take with you. None of the hosts that I audited were lazy. None of them were bad at doing Airbnb. They were frankly doing the most reasonable thing in front of them. They just couldn't see the part that was actually broken. Every one of those 7 mistakes was a promise that the listing could not keep. And now, hopefully, you can see them coming, y'all. And that is the whole advantage from this content. That is because your listing, well, it isn't something that you build, it's something that you run. And so, two things that I want you to take away from this: every amenity is a promise. And sometimes some of the new hosts that I work with don't know which promise to keep and which promise to skip. And to do this, I put together the Airbnb setup checklist. It tells you everything that you need to set up your Airbnb right from day one. And frankly, some of the things that you can skip because they don't impact your revenue or your reviews. You could grab it down below using the link. And the second thing I want you to take away from this video is that I did not find most of these mistakes by hand. I ran them through ChatGPT using a prompt that I designed, and it helped me to surface them faster than I could on my own. And that is the next video, the exact problems I hand to ChatGPT to help me run in my business. And if you want the system behind the 7 mistakes, well, that's where it is. Because when you pair what you've learned in this video with that one, you're going to be ahead of 90% of the other hosts in your market. I'm over there. See you in a few minutes.